Welcome, everyone, to our Chat with Kat session of Tarot Pick a Card. And if you are here tonight, I am so glad that I have drawn you in to get your love reading tonight. I think I do get quite a few questions about love, about career and some family relationships. But I would say by far the questions I get the most are about love. And so that's my goal tonight. I'm going to be using the True Love reading cards. They're just wonderful. And I'm using these because when you're asking questions about love, most people think it's relationship love and trying to find a partner. Certainly, that's part of it. But another part is the family love, and especially, hi Shannon, especially when people have been separated, mothers from their children, brothers and sisters. There's all kinds of ways that love is not fulfilling. And so picking one card for whoever wants to have one is our goal. Now, why do I have this lovely setting here for you to look at? Mainly because I am a follower of Abraham Hicks and all of the teachers that teach that you're best off when you're quietly awake and aware and relaxed. Meditation is a great practice for when you are trying to manifest a change in your life, and also the use of the imagination. These evening calls, I do calls in the morning that have more cards. I do three pile pick a card readings in the morning. And this morning we had a really good one that was about creative blocks and people. How do you decide when a project is done and it's time to move on? Or if you have a block to your writing, you're an artist who can't paint, those kinds of things. That was my morning reading. So tonight we're hitting up on love. So Shannon, would you like to have a card drawn for you? Because I would love to help you. How it works is, first of all, we are using our imagination. So today we are at this wonderful resort. Now, how likely is it that a whale would leap out of a lake that size, right? How likely is it that hot air balloon would drop down and land there? And how likely is it that you had this cat? It's called a Savannah. Very expensive, delightful pets. How likely is it that elephants would be in your yard? Not likely, right? So, hey, Cat, welcome. So, when we come to our chat with Cat, the point is to use our imaginations, because the reason I do this is because I love doing readings in person. I love to be able to look people in the eye. I love to be able to give them a hug. I love being able to share my time with people in person. So you guys are stepping up and letting me do that, because it's like we're together. We're together at this resort. It's like an imaginasium where we can practice our manifesting and create all kinds of fantastic things. So you are supposed to bring your love questions into my environment. See where she is? My little table is set up right off to the side. And after our reading, she was so knocked out, she went to take a nap. So if you have happened by and you want to have a card, I'm here for you. I'm doing these readings for free, and all you do is drop a tip into the tip jar. And those of you who have been before, you know that it's the thumbs up. And here I have 2 tips before I even draw a card. I love you guys. So we have Shannon, Christina, and Elizabeth. And so Elizabeth is asking me a for sure question. I'm happy to draw cards just for you showing up. So Shannon and Christina, happy to draw you a card, but I'm giving you the chance to go ahead and ask me a question if you want. Meanwhile, while you're thinking of your questions, I'm going to light up my Palo Santo because I love it. Now, somebody asked me a really cool question. It was Tanzanite. You guys know Tanzanite, right? She's been to a few of our readings. And she said, is it really necessary to light the Palo Santo? Is it necessary? And I love that question because I personally do things like this because it makes me feel like it's more of a ritual, more of a celebration. And it kind of makes this For me, I love the smell of the Palo Santo, but if I did a reading without it, I wouldn't be upset. So I don't use it as a as like I must have it. I just use it because it delights me to use it. I also have several crystals here in the reading, and I'm going to remove our scenery here now that I've set the scene. And I do have healing crystals that I will bring in for the readings tonight because I do love them. And I know just enough to be dangerous. I don't know all of the meanings of the crystals, but what I know is this. The creator that created stones that are so colorful proves to me that there is some intelligence designing this universe because stones could be gray. Isn't that true? There's no need to have colorful stones unless you have eyes to see it and consciousness to understand it. Because I don't think if I hold this red jasper up to my dog, that that dog will be able to discern the redness of it. Of course, I never got in a dog's brain to know. But I use things like that to build up my faith and build up my belief that we live in a creative universe with more that we don't know than we do. So anyway, that was for on Tanzanite. So these are our cards. Again, we're using the True Love reading cards. And Elizabeth wants to know what she needs to know about Anthony. Does Anthony love her for real? So this is the way I'm going to do it tonight because I only do single card readings in this chat with Kat session. So let's take a peek. We'll draw a card for Elizabeth. And Elizabeth, you draw the soulmates card. So I would say that this means that what you're going through with Anthony is absolutely essential for answering the question that you have. After you've been together for a while, things can separate a little bit as you mature. And one of the things that I like to share with people, because I do write in the love and romance arena, I have a blog that's called Breakup Candy, because I believe it's possible to have conflict, go through it, and survive. So, what I'm reading for you, Elizabeth, is you're feeling insecure about this person's love. So, the card is saying that this is an important person. Now, I will tell you, quite frankly, I have had two divorces and I'm single right now for 10 years and I'm totally enjoying my singlehood. I'm making conscious choices of how much togetherness I want. But I do know that if you desire a closer connection with Anthony, you can have that. If you believe that he is your soulmate, what I want you to do is use a tool that I created to help clear your insecurities. Because if Anthony is picking up on your energy, that you sense he doesn't love you enough, it is going to be, it's going to fight. It'll fight against the plan to draw you together. There's a man I love, I refer to him all the time, Jimmy on relationships. He's wonderful and he's a good teacher about the truth of the challenges of bringing two people together. He's honest and he's a good teacher, Elizabeth. So I would go over to him. But in my description box, there's something called the Soulmate Generator. And it's a place where you can take all of your disappointments and your confusions about your person and just write and write and write, or you can use voice to text. I strongly recommend that you use kind of purge yourself of all of the different disappointments over time and just clear the air and make a decision. If you truly love this person, you have to realize you're going to have downward cycles. It's part of life. There's winter time in some relationships, and after winter comes spring and restoration. So I would say, Elizabeth, there's still life in this relationship, and that it could be that your own view of the connection is causing you some difficulty. Okay, so check out the soulmate Yes. Okay. Good. 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 I am so glad. So go to the soulmate generator. You might want to look at your love profile. It's in the description box. It's a free little test. You can get a report because I have a feeling that Anthony is picking up on your insecurity and that it's confusing to him because you do love him so much. Okay. If after you use the soulmate generator, you want to ask me some more questions, be sure to email me, okay, Elizabeth, because I can use your question in a future reading, and then you'll receive a personal reading all for yourself at the end, okay? It's one of the things I love to do, so I make sure that my readings are really hitting the needs of my people, okay? So I would love to see you use that soulmate generator, okay? Give it a chance. All right, let's see here. We have, oh, Christina. Let's see. Um, aw. Oh, I love that. What sign is he, Christina? And remind me what your sign is too, okay? I think that be sure to look at Jimmy on relationships, okay, you guys, because he's brilliant. He's, oh, Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn. Oh, yeah. All right. And what are you? For remind me? All you do is just ask your question, Candy. I'm so happy to answer. And Sag. Okay, good, good. Okay, all right. All right. So what does Christina need to know about how to draw out a Capricorn, right? Oh, how to create, how did you say it? I loved it. Let me go back and see. Opening his heart up a little bit. Okay. What does she need to know? What part of her husband? What's the clue? Okay, let's take a look here. Pull our card. Ah, manifestation. Okay. All right. So I don't know how much you are into the manifesting world, Christina. I'm in there pretty major. And so what this is calling you for is to do an invisible project with trying to see your husband be more open. What it's saying is that you can go about this between you and your inner being. Remember, you guys, I'm always wanting you to remember that you come into the earth as a, my opinion, as a blended being, that your higher self, your best self, your potential is represented by the non-physical part of yourself, the part that keeps you alive. And then this little person, that's your personality, that's the your weaknesses, it could be your ego, the things that you are kind of insistent, like I want life to be that way. And your inner being might be saying, well, let's consider a different way because you want harmony. So with your husband, he may not think he needs to be closer. You know, he may think you guys are just fine. So how do you do this in the invisible way, in the energetic way? I'm going to give you an affirmation, and I love these affirmations so much. I use them personally. They start off with, even though I don't know how, my husband is so much more open now. Okay. Even though I don't know how, and you can use his name, my husband is more open now. Now, when you start making that into an affirmation and you just say it over and over to yourself, your inner being will guide you with some creative ideas. I can't explain how it happens, but when you say affirmations in a certain way, you release your own creativity. Okay. Even though I don't know how, it's so much easier to talk to him now. Even though I don't know how, I'm feeling so much more connected now. Even though I don't know how, he's speaking to me so much more lovingly now. Okay, so these kinds of affirmations start you on an internal journey to attract his interest and curiosity. Okay, and then the second suggestion, one of my favorites for all you married people out there, or if you're in a couple, every other week do a date night And each person takes a turn planning week to week. And you cannot say no when your person invites you on a date to go to a cigar bar. And yes, you get to sit outside, but you don't want to go to a cigar bar. Too bad, because next week you get to pick the date place. What this does for a couple is it places them in an unusual situation that they didn't pick. And when you guys come together in a strange or new environment and then talk about it, it will bring more intimacy. I was once in the Barnes and Noble bookstore waiting to check out, and a woman in front of me said to the clerk, "Do you have a copy of the history of World War II back there?" And she looked a little cross. You know the word cross, like she was a little frustrated. And the man said, "Yes, I do. What's your name?" And she said her name. He went back and got the book and gave it to her. And she said, "My husband and I do a book club together, and we have to, whatever book we pick, the other cannot complain. And we have to read the book and then we talk about it." And she was rolling her eyes. And then she made a joke about how much fun it would be to pick the book when it was her turn. And she planned to pick some nice chick lit book so that he would be tortured to read about romance. But these kinds of ideas are very cool. They're creating novel experiences for you to explore your partner. So that's what I recommend, Christina. Also, if you guys, anybody who wants to have a private reading, I'm available for you. You can email me right here, or you could get cards drawn. If you don't mind having them drawn in the general public, I do free readings Monday through Friday. Not only that, but your reading, your question will end up being the part of the reading that follows the pick of cards, and I'd love to do that. So if you're enjoying this reading, remember I work for free. Well, just for tips, and your tips come when you hit the thumbs up. So thank you in advance for the flowers. All right, let's go right ahead. And we have candy apples. What are Nate's feelings and intentions for me? He flirts with me a lot, but doesn't seem to move things forward. Okay. All right. Hi, Teresa. Yes, all you have to do is ask your question, and then I will jump in as we have time. I'm usually here for about an hour and read as many cards as I can. On the early part of the day, I do pick a cards where I draw several cards from 3 different decks, 3 different piles. So please do visit me on my regular pick a cards, okay? Thanks for the flowers, you guys. All right, so this one is for candy apples. What is it that she needs to know about the situation with this flirty man? Okay, so let me draw a card for you, Candy. Thank you for visiting. I'm so glad to see you guys here. Thanks for following me and for your likes. I think I'm just completing 2 months. I'm going to my 3rd month of lives, and I'm so grateful for all y'all for cheering me on and coming to the readings. And I really enjoy your company. So, candy apples, let's see what we have. And it's the compatibility card. All right, so Candy, this is showing a wonderful match, right? I really love the compatibility. I'm just going to draw closer. I love the compatibility card because compatibility is not like a sexy word, is it? It's not hot. It's not passionate. It's not juicy. It's not sexual. You know, compatibility can almost be an afterthought. Why do I say that? Sometimes when you very first meet someone, the chemistry is very strong, right? Very strong. And as that chemistry draws you together with someone, it can walk you right into hot water. Isn't that the truth? Especially when you're really young. I always say once you start having intimacy with someone, you lose your mind because the cocktail of neurotransmitters that floods over you with partly fear, partly excitement, and partly sexual chemistry, that's nearly an addictive cocktail of neurotransmitters. It's why so many relationships can run right off into the ditch after a few months when that chemistry changes. So, compatibility is critical because once you're with somebody 10, 12, 15 years, believe me, your intimate life will have its ebbs and flows. You'll have family issues, in-law issues, career issues, lots of distractions in a long-term relationship. But if you have compatibility, the ability, you just get along. This is where a lot of people say that a friendship is the most wonderful base for a close, intimate relationship because of compatibility. Now, the two figures here, I look at them and they're flying in different directions, aren't they, Candy? So, what does that mean? It's like they're waving at one another, and yet we have the hearts, and there's a lot of love here. So, I'm seeing that in this connection with Nate, it seems like it's rather free form, that you all aren't living in the way that maybe a typical couple does. And perhaps one or both of you has been doing a little compromising just to keep this connection alive. And that's all fine. In this world today, sometimes you even end up with a relationship with a person in a different country, right? Because with the internet, I mean, I don't know where all y'all are. I'm in Tennessee, but it's the miracle of being able to share our ideas together and to be together over a distance. So keep compatibility as your main focus, Candy, okay? And watch how many ways you guys get along together. It might be a good idea for you to make a list of the things that are the same between you. What's your compatibility? Do you both like Italian food? Do you both like the same kind of music? Are you drawn to vacation in the same sorts of spots? Also, there's a wonderful, all y'all, listen to this. If you go to Google and you Google 36 questions, Christina, this might be great for you. It was in the New York Times. Some of you may be familiar, but there's something called the 36 questions. They did an experiment with people that weren't even in love with one another, and they had them discuss and answer these 36 questions with one another, and they had proof that it helps people love one another. Even perfect strangers can come into intimacy with each other in conversation by doing those questions. So if he's willing to do that, that would be great. It would just open the door of compatibility. Also, if he's moving slowly, you need to look at that. If it's okay with you, let it happen that way. Don't pressure it. But if you're feeling a time crunch, like you guys have been hanging out for over a year and he's not moving it forward, he may be a platonic friend with no real interest in sustainable relationship. Okay. So not knowing how long you've been together or any other details. Oh, yes. Okay. That's just so awesome, Candy. I'm just thinking that you might be you might be moving a little fast, that you may want something that's not here yet. But check that compatibility. The more factors that you guys have where you get along well together, the more likely it is that this is really a good match. Okay. All right, so if you want more information, anybody, this is a single card. Imagine if you had a reading with 10, 12, 15 cards all for you. If you guys watch my dailies, you see all those decks that I use, right? It's very possible you're going to get the answer in a more detailed fashion if you order a reading. So please email me. I'll give you all the details you need, all right? So let's move on here. And so Elizabeth, you had your one card. Aren't I a meanie? It's like, don't tell anybody, but I'm the meanest tarot reader on YouTube. No, I'm just teasing. But it's just one card only for tonight. But I will be doing other readings at different times. This sounds like something you might want a private reading about. Okay, Lady A, welcome. Thank you for you guys that are here. I just work for your tips. So the tips are the thumbs up. So toss the girls some flowers. We appreciate that. Lady A, I'd like to know how I can heal the connection with my kid's father. Been through a lot. Ah, wow. Pisces and Virgo. Okay. All right. Let's draw a card for Lady A, okay? What does she need to know tonight? And in the single card readings, my whole goal, I call myself an infotainer because I'm entertaining people with the cards and sharing information. And with just a single card, such a deep question. What we know for sure is this card is designed to inspire and encourage you, Lady A. What is it you need to know tonight to walk the healing path with the father of your kids? And let's draw a card. And hello. Let's take a breath. Okay, this is a big one. Lady A, I don't know if you were here listening to my previous reading, but in the description box, there is something called the soulmate generator. And this is a soul. Now, I do believe you can have more than one soulmate. I think you can have friends that are soulmates. You can have employers that are soulmates. It's just my belief system that there's certain people, when you meet them, the relationship goes deep fast. It could be a friend you met at work. All of a sudden, you guys are just like knit together at the hip, right? The relationships you've had over life that have been close and impactful, I call them all soulmates. So, with that being said, this person that you're in separation with, I'm kind of assuming you guys are in separation and that you have feelings for each other. You know what, the part of this card that sticks out at me at the most for you, Lady A, is this one. I forgive myself. I'm really feeling a lot of energy of regret, wishing you would have said this, wishing you would have done that. And there's just no need for you to think that. I believe you have been trying to make amends and make it right with your person. And I love that vocabulary. And when you're having trouble with another human, just to be able to look them in the eye and say, I want to make this right. Personally, I think that's a wonderful affirmation. It's a statement of truth. I want to make this right. If you're really committed, you might want to say, I will make this right, because this is your kid's dad, and you may evolve to a good friendship, and maybe that you'll get along better not living together. Maybe the best path for you is to be apart. Right now, we don't know, but forgiveness is needed. And I really feel that forgiving yourself will be very, very key. So, in the soulmate generator, there's two things you can do. One, you can write letters to yourself and you can say, I remember that time during that fight when I told him his mother, blah, blah, blah. Or I can remember when I walked out of the house. Whatever it is that you did, go ahead and write into the soulmate generator and ask God to help you forgive yourself for that. There's tools right there that you can use. Also, there is a love profile, and you can click there and take the little quiz, and you'll get a nice report. There is a male and female version, and chances are you could take the quiz for your husband. You know him very well, and you could get his love profile also. And then with those two pieces of information, you're going to have some things to work on, okay? It's very tricky. I will tell you that I have a family member. They did reconnect after being separate. They divorced and it's only been 1 month since you met Candy Apple. Oh yeah, candy. Let's slow ourselves down, okay? But anyway, with Lady A, I do have a friend, a dear person in my life, who they were divorced for 3 years with two couple of kids, and they got back together, and they're together still 10 years later, right? So people can come back together, and I don't want you to think they can't, but you can't control that. You can control just doing this forgiveness exercise. And then please do go. There's two references I want to give to you, okay? Lady A, one is Jimmy on relationships. You guys know I always toot his horn for him. And the other is Esther Perel, Perel. She is an expert at couples coming back together after difficulty. She's wonderful. She's been a marriage counselor for over 30 years, and I love her. She will tell the truth of it. So I would use her as a resource if you're trying to rebuild a relationship. Many times people think once there's been a big hurt that you can't get over it, but that's just not true. If this person is meant to be your person, then believe me, you will be guided to find the tools to keep it together. Okay. So next, any other questions? We have, oh my goodness, I Shikuje? Is it Shikuje? Hi. Would you like me to draw you a card? I'm happy to do it. And I forgive me as I try to, I can say anime. Lady A, only one card. Oh, I'm so grateful. Thank you, Lady A. Hit that thumbs up and throw some flowers my way. I love that sunflower. Thank you very much. That's what I'm saying, you guys. When you work with a tarot reader, whoever it is, when they resonate with you, that's a sign to revisit them. And there's just no accidents that you all are finding here tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you. Okay, so let's pull a card for Shikuche. What is an overall love energy for my friend? Yes, ma'am. I want to know, did he ever love me? Okay, so is this in the past? Is this person gone from your life and you're not in relationship? Is that so? Okay, very interesting question. So you're still thinking about your person, aren't you? And you're second guessing yourself like, I wonder if there was true love there. Okay, let's take a peek, see what the cards have. This is a beautiful card for you, my friend, because this says clearly your message from your spirit is inner peace. So, this means it's in your best interest to stop asking questions about your person. Okay? You are enough. You are enough. Sometimes when someone breakups are devastating. Now mind you, I do have a blog. It's called Breakup Candy, breakupcandy.com, and there is a quiz over there you can take. I used to write quite a bit about love and romance before the manifesting world found me. It's a whole different story, but generally speaking, an X is an X for a reason. That the see that book on her life on her lap, she has learned so much from being with this person, and it's hard when it ends, but not every relationship is supposed to last forever. Yes, Fran, happy to do it. You'll be next. But it's very hard when you're shopping for a partner, when you're really looking and something comes together for a minute and it feels right. However, if you look so carefully, you'll see little cracks and that things fell apart. And it's so important to just let it fall apart. If it has enough magnetism, enough natural attraction, it will return because both people begin to miss the other. But quite frankly, most times when people end something, it's for a very good reason. But I do believe he cared for you as much as he could. And when relationships end, it can feel like somebody did something wrong. The reality is, if you didn't have enough compatibility, enough in common to bring it back together, because it's not right, it's not correct for you to do it at this time. So, inner peace is your answer, Shiguje. And so, as you pursue your career, your friends, and other things, I want you to say to yourself, I'm enough. I will not compromise my inner peace, and I'm going to let my person go. If they're meant to come back, it will happen in natural time and natural ways. But for the most part, you're being able to walk forward with that inner peace is going to bring you more perspective on your person. Okay. Now, if you need more information, my email address is right here. I love to do readings during the week where they're pick a card readings, and you guys are helping me with the theme of those readings. Today, we did a theme on creativity and not being able to get projects completed and creative block and all of that, because one of my lovely readers sent me an email about a book that she had written. And so, if you want a deeper reading around finding love, write me an email and we'll pull more cards, and you will receive a personal reading because you've created the theme for the day. Again, if you have questions about anything, here's my email. So my friend Fran, I think you visited my channel, haven't you, before? I think I recognize your name. So thank you so much. Those of you who are not subscribed yet, you sure can. Rose, I would love that. Rose, a girl after my own heart. Want to have a message from your inner being, of course. But Fran, so I'm here for you if you want to give me a question, or I can just do like a general card for you. You're welcome, Shikuche. And I hope that was a blessing for you. The gift of inner peace is a strong one. Okay, so Fran, do you have a specific question for me? And Rose, I see your question. So Fran, um, let me just do Rose, or where there you are, general. Perfect. Thank you, Fran. Have I seen your name on my channel? I think I have. I think you've been here before. So thank you for coming back. All right, for my friend Fran, what is the message that the spirits of love have for you tonight, my friend? Oh, I was mistaken. Well, welcome. It's not a prerequisite to receive a reading. Okay, so we have boundaries. Oh, hello, Dolly. All right, so the first thing that I see in this card is I recognize so many of the people that do come into my life are what I call neurodiverse. Um, uh, which is a big term, but it basically, I use it to describe people that have social anxiety, where it's difficult to speak up for yourself. You may feel like you are a little shy, especially if you're under stress or things are not going right. It's really hard to know when and how to speak up for yourself. Because when I look at this beautiful card and I look at the figure of that woman and I sense to myself, this is Fran, that Fran is sitting in the midst of all of this wonder. And I just can't imagine what it is that is your passion. It does seem like animals and nature would be really, really important to you. And that might be, you might be a person that enjoys living with animals more than people. I'm kind of that way. I've been living with my dogs and no humans for a while, and it's kind of a nice way to live. No offense to the humans. But what this message is for you is that somebody is encroaching. I kind of like that word, encroaching. They're just kind of like crossing the line gently into a boundary area for you. And you may feel it. You're like, this doesn't quite feel right, but I really enjoy this person. So, Fran, take a chance when things are out of alignment or doesn't feel quite right. You can say things like, I don't appreciate the way you said that. I don't appreciate that you assigned me that task. Speak your truth as you keep your boundaries. And I think it's going to be a very fruitful week. I'm sensing that there's some spiritual opportunities coming. I'm just glancing at that purple at the top of the wall. And I think your ability to keep strong boundaries is going to really bless you as you go forward. Okay? And oh, one other thing that I want to mention is, see that heart? It's her shield. And we hold up a shield to protect our heart. So to me, what it's showing me is that as you hold a shield to protect yourself within your lane, staying in your lane, to um, express with love your need to have people get out of your lane, because you don't want to be misunderstood, and you need to feel brave about shielding yourself from people who just believe differently than you, because you're a unique critter. You're a unique human, and you need to hold on to what it is that you're wanting. Just be gentle as you do it, okay?
And now we move on and we have Rose. Hi, Rose. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. For those of you who are new to me, I'm Catherine, otherwise known as Kat. I do pick a card readings every day, Monday through Friday, for my friends. And we use 3 card readings and 3 piles to pick from. When we do the chat with Kat, it's just one card at a time. So you just kind of get a feel for what this is like a little sampler. All I ask is for a tip, and the tip is a thumbs up. Give the girl some flowers, okay? So, hi, Viban, welcome. I answered this the other night for you, Viman. I remember, right? We had a card. So, can you think of a different topic? Because that would be awesome. Because we already answered that one. Happy times. Will I win the Braille contest? Oh, I can't wait to draw for that. Okay, so who do we have here? We had Rose. Okay, Rose, here is your card when it comes to your love experience. I love the silver waterfall. I love that. Um, I just want to pull it so I can see it. Okay. So as I look at the figure is so small compared to the wall of water. The water is always a symbol of spirit and of purifying and of cleansing. So, what looks like to me, my dear Rose, is that you are being called to this experience. Some people are lucky enough to travel somewhere where they can stand under a true waterfall. Oh gosh, I wish I could do that. May not be possible for you, but you're being called to allow the fresh water of spirit to wash down through you in every way. You have gone through a lot and you're ready to stand new. Also, you have reached a point of surrender. It looks to me like there's certain things going on, and you're like, oh, well, I don't know what to do next, but I do know that I want my inner being to be my guide. Okay. And so that's where I like to show this little picture, because this is so much my personal life definition of what the divine wisdom is for me. I believe, as Abraham Hicks teaches, that we have a non physical part of us, the non physical that's bigger. It's our best self, it's our divine connection. And then here is represented our personality or our ego, which is the smallest part of us. So, what your inner being is wanting for you, Rose, is to really create a closer bond between these two. And so, what I'm going to ask you is, when you're in the shower, I want you to imagine that it's the divine is pouring water over your head. There is a man, there's lots of meditations that are 5 to 10 minutes long. One of my favorite things is to listen to a meditation while I'm in the shower. It feels good when they say, all of your troubles are washing down the drain. I'm like, yes, they are. But I think your inner being is wanting to commune with you. And I don't know if you get ideas in the shower, but I do. So next time you take a shower, Rose, allow yourself to believe that the Holy Spirit itself, your inner being, your higher self, has a big pitcher and is just pouring out the power of cleansing and purification on you in your shower. Okay? And then let me know what happens. For me personally, it's just drawn me into more of an intimate relationship with my inner being. Okay? And so, y'all, welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see here. All right. And we have, hi, happy times. Okay, so happy times. All right, these are what we're doing is we're drawing love readings. And so I'm going to do that for you. And with the request that you want an answer about the contest. It kind of reminds me of like self love, because if you win that contest, what does it mean? And the self love. Highlighting Lotus, welcome. So let's see what card we have for happy times. I like your name, Happy Times. Okay. And we have yin and yang, black and white. Okay, so as I look at these two hands and I look at the yin and yang in the beginning, or excuse me, right in the center. I'm also drawn to these feathers that are black and white and black and white. So, my darling happy times, here's what the reading is for you. What it is that you are a little bit enchanted by with black and white things. It's like to win the contest is excellent, to lose is terrible. And this sense of either or, that it has to be a certain way, it's showing me that you might be holding on a little too tight to the result, because we don't know who's going to win that contest. But we do know it's not the only contest you're ever going to enter. If you are someone who enters contests, if you enter 10, you might win one, right? But if you enter the same contest, the odds of winning are smaller than if you enter a ton of contests. It looks to me like you're putting a lot of pressure on, I have to win. There's some kind of black and white going on. That will cause you to have a loss of peace of mind. So, if winning a contest is important to you, I would just enter a lot of them and increase your odds. So, you're not needing to win to make yourself happy. Okay? That's an interesting answer. I hope that makes sense to you. Again, please email me if you need clarification or you want to be putting a lot of effort. Yeah. Well, see, with only one card, again, there's a limit. But this might be this, okay, this is saying there is no yes, no here. What this is saying is that in your plans, in your mind, if you need to have a yes, it's putting too much pressure on you. What is it that you think will improve in your life if you win? Because that is the question I would want to ask you if I drew more cards. So there you have it. Yeah, it's definitely a maybe card. And there's a philosophy with manifesting that's, it's kind of crazy, but it says the more you want the thing, the more desperately you want it, the harder it is to get. There's this thing called detachment, where you enter the contest, you let it go, and you say, if I win, it's fine. If I lose, it's fine. My life is going to be just as good either way. If you enter contests and you put the pressure, like, I need to pay my rent, if I win that contest, I'll pay the rent. That's putting way too much pressure on the whole idea of a contest, okay? And again, with just one card, it's hard to go deeper, but happy, if you write to me, I bet I could make a whole reading for people that would be about how to win contests, or is it a good idea to need to win a contest, or is it something that's meant just for fun, okay? So thank you very much for that. Hi, Lighting Lotus. We are doing love readings. Oopsie, I forgot Viban. Viban, what does the future hold for your love life? Okay, wonderful. Thank you for rephrasing your question. You guys are welcome to visit me every night. I love it, but you always want to bring a different question so that, oh, one comment I forgot to make is that some of the people who are just watching along, you're not asking a question. Don't be surprised if one of or two of these cards resonate with you, because chances are that your question or your desire is going to be represented by one of these cards, okay? So we have Viban. What's the future of your love life? Ah, Viban, chivalry. That's a really good word. Look that up. Look at chivalry in your dictionary. How do you say it in your native language? What does it mean? This is the heart of a romantic. This is a person who has sincere desires to charm, enchant, and sweep a partner off their feet. This is a well grounded, kind person. So as you walk forward, Viban, wanting to be the kind of husband, the kind of partner that the wife walks around town saying, I am so lucky. I have the best partner and I love him dearly. I'm going to say that I would refer you to a book by a man named Steve Harvey. And he wrote a book called Act Like a Lady and Think Like a Man. It Now you wonder, why would I ask for someone to read a book that's primarily for women? Because Steve Harvey is writing to women on how to pick a decent guy. And he teaches men how to be a great partner. So I recommend his work with my whole heart. He has something that he calls the 3 P's. P, P, and P, 3 words that once you learn those, Viban, you're going to have so much more confidence as a partner. Okay, so get out a pencil, write that down. Steve Harvey, Act Like a Woman and Think Like a Man. It is excellent resource material. Ladies, I invite you to read it also, so that when you fall for a man or you feel like your partner is just right, but you just are unsatisfied, reading that material will comfort you and it'll bring stuff that you can talk about with your partner. Okay? Okay. Yes, being courted, absolutely. That's part of. I just love the energy here. Oh, well, welcome. Thank you. I hope you belong. Definitely grab a place in my world. And I love to have repeat people. So thank you so much. But the idea of being courted, yeah, it's that Steve Harvey book. I don't know if y'all are familiar with it, but it's just filled with wisdom. I think you'll love it. Okay. It may be available in your native language. So check it out. Okay, lighting Lotus. Would you like a card? I'm sure you would. I'm just checking if you asked a question. No. I can draw just a general card, or if there's something specific, lighting. But how can I serve you? And I'm going to be here for a couple more cards. I do read for about an hour, and it's 50 minutes now. So we're coming to the close. I will say, while I'm waiting for lighting Lotus to ask a question, I love meeting you guys through the cards. Every day, Monday through Friday, I do a reading in the morning where I answer a question for one of my lovely friends. If I can formulate your question into a theme, it serves everybody on the site, on the channel. And the reward for that is a personal reading where I draw cards for your answer. So, Viban, definitely, you've been here for a couple. Go ahead and write me an email, and then you can get more cards drawn for your needs. Okay. So, general energy, absolutely. Are you single or are you in a coupled lighting? I'm so thirsty tonight. So, you guys, that's making me think, are all y'all drinking enough water? It's very hot in the States right now, and it's so important that we keep ourselves hydrated. Okay, so single. Okay, great. And then I see Tahinder Kaur. Will I be married with Vivek? So I will definitely check that out. And that'll probably be my last reading. I think I'm running out of time. So, lighting Lotus as a single person. Lighting, in the description box, I have something called the love profile. You can take that profile, it'll give you a little bit of a report on your soulmate style. So take a look at that. I think you'd enjoy it. Okay, so let's see. Oh, I love the garden. The Garden of Delights. So first, what I notice here is just that figure in the middle with her hat off. See that? Just relaxing. I love that she's dressed in that beautiful lavender, which is a deeply spiritual color. It's the same color as your little logo on your name, Lighting Lotus. So I feel like this is a very special reading for those of you who have been very busy in the gardens of your life. Your relationships, your diet, the books you read, everything around you is just coasting just fine. In fact, this is a card of I am very satisfied being single. I have created this beautiful world and I don't need anybody. So, lighting, if that's not true, if you wish to have a partner, then the reading on this card would be you need to do a little shifting of your energy because you are radiating no thank you. Now, in me personally, I have absolutely been radiating no thank you since 2014 when I divorced a man in a very difficult way. And so I have totally loved my singleness. I ran off and lived in Mexico for 4 years by myself. I'm 71. I went at 65. And see, there you go. The contentment that you have. Open to love is the trick because you really do need to look in the mirror, lighting Lotus tonight, look in the mirror and look yourself right in the eye and say, I am 100% being, me too. I'm 100% happy being single. So you look in the mirror, look right in your eyes, and just say it. I'm 100% content being single. What I have found is that the people who really have a heart to be in a couple, they can't say that because they can't lie to their own eyeballs. But I'm so glad that you said that, Lightning, because it does look like everything's in the proper order and you're perched right in the center of all that abundance. I do see you as open and available for love because I see this path. See the path coming through? And so there, and the gate is open. See how the gate is open? So I feel like this is responsive to you. If you would love to have a person in your life who understood you, who got you, who cared and had the right kind of personality for you, I'm glad you're open because even now I'm not familiar. I think we've just met for the first time, but I'm just sensing this very sweet energy. Okay? So just lovely. Oh, look what I saw back there. See that? What is that? Is that a unicorn back there? I can't see. Hang on. Yes. Can you see the little unicorn hiding? Oh, I think lightning. I think somebody's watching you. I think that somebody is interested. I really do. And they're magical and they're respectful. I think they feel like you're out of their league, but there's somebody watching you. Keep your eye peeled, okay? All right. So we have one more reading for tonight, and it's going to be for our friend. Um, I wish I knew how to say that for sure. Tajinder? Tajinder, or is it Tajinder? I know in Spanish the J is it's a different sound, but we are asking about being married with Vivek. All right. Now again, single card reading. We don't know for sure what's going on between you, but let's draw that card and see what the story is. Okay. All right. We have the emotional freedom card. And let me just look here. The winged horse, which is Pegasus. You might want to Google Pegasus because I think there may be an extra blessing for you there. The rabbit is always a sign of fertility. And look at the snow and the ice. So let me just see here. Let me just look at this card. What I'm seeing here that strikes me is cold. You know, it's like it's winter, it looks like. And there's so much white and ice around here. What it's showing me, and yet it's emotional freedom. And so it's confusing. And I'm sensing that, that you may be sensing confusion with all of this going on. Okay. So, I would say that it looks cool. I mean, I think if things are meant to happen, it would be hotter. Like the energy of it, this is such a chilly card. So I would say if you're expecting to be for a proposal right now, I don't see that. But I don't see like it's done or there's nothing here. But I see the rabbit's got all this warmth, all of this heat. So it looks like it might be still working itself out. The two of your personalities are a little bit separate, and that can be good. Opposites can attract, and it can be really good. but it's not easy. And you may have an up and down, kind of an ebb and flow relationship. That may or may not be okay for you. Right now, it's showing two personalities, two communication styles that are quite different. So, I personally, if you were my friend, I would be saying do some work around yourself. Make sure that you are going to that you're not going to be asked to compromise anything that's important to you. I know that you want to be married, and a lot of people, my heart goes out to you. Remember, you guys, I have a a breakup recovery website. It's called breakupcandy.com, and it's filled with articles on how to recover from heartbreak. Because, Tajinder, you may be having echoes of pain from your past love that's making you feel a little frozen and it just won't move forward. But there's something in the resource box, or excuse me, the description box. It's called the soulmate generator. It's a special little tool to eliminate any heartbreaks that you've had in the past. So anybody that used to be with you didn't treat you right, all the things before you met your person, before Vivek came, do some housekeeping, energy housekeeping, where you can sweep out the cobwebs of your old relationships. I think that might warm things up a little bit, okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, I am coming to a close of my readings. I can see there's people here waiting, and I love you for showing up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will be back tomorrow. I'm Monday through Friday. I'm here twice a day, once in the morning, once in the later afternoon Central Time. If you want my personal reading of your situation, you can have that. Just email me. I will pick your question for one of my morning readings, and then I will do the pick cards and I will read cards for you at the end. Basically, you get about 40 minutes of recorded readings based on your question. And so far, the people have been delighted with that, and it's absolutely free of charge. Just hit my tip jar with a few thumbs up, and we're good to go. Okay? So, thank you, thank you, thank you, each and every one of you, my new friends, my old friends who joined me tonight. I look forward to these readings more than you know, and I will see you tomorrow morning bright and early, and then again tomorrow afternoon with Chat with Kat. So please go forward. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Know that you are greatly loved, and I will see you tomorrow. Love you. Bye now.